How do UFOs function? How do they fly? And how do they perform the maneuvers that they do?
The very first thing is that you must divide up the conception of the physical world because each existence consists of different layers. Let's say for simplicity's sake that it consists of the material illusion and a sphere of influence. Certain physical conditions are associated only with the realm of the material, while other and more complicated conditions are associated only with the sphere of influence. Your conception of the physical world is based upon a simple material illusion. Those illusions further subdivided into three elementary or basic conditions of a fourth and very important condition also exists, which you simply pay attention to more or less as you choose. It is the one bordering on the sphere of influence or plasma realm. Now, back to the essentials. With plasma, I don't mean just hot gas as the concept is generally simplified by your people, but rather I mean a higher aggregate condition of matter. The plasma state of matter is a special form of matter which lies between its real existence and the sphere of influence, that is, a complete loss of mass and pure accretion of energy of various forms whenever the matter is pushed or shoved. The fourth state of matter is very important for certain physical conditions which can be used from the world of real physics. There are no bipolar forces, but rather only observer-dependent reflective behavior of a single large unified force at different levels. Generate anti-gravity. With anti-gravity or the displacement of gravitational characteristics into one can, for example, cause apparently solid matter to levitate. This method is employed partly by us and by extraterrestrials as well as a means of propulsion for their UFOs. But since you have more or less stolen this technology, and it was later falsely passed on to you intentionally by the extraterrestrials, you lack the real physical understanding. As a result, you have to struggle with problems of instability and radiation with your UFOs. It was told to you that the higher the ordinal or ranking number of basic matter, the simpler the heightening of the condition, but that is only partially correct. You remember this business of copper fusion? Fluctuation at the right angle with the induced radiation field. Copper is fused with other elements. The illusion of matter is fused, the fields in the sphere of influence overlap each other, but the main force would be reflected by that process and would assume a quasi-bipolar character. The resulting connection and the field would therefore not be stable in the normal condition of matter and unsuited by means of the. As a result, the entire field spectrum is shifted to a higher plasma-like condition of the force field and it resembles quite closely a gravitational shift. This shifting causes a tilting of the repulsing quasi-bipolar force, which now no longer flows to the interior of the force field, but rather flows partly to the exterior of the field. It can also carry out a multiplicity of tasks, for example, causing massive flying objects to be levitated and maneuvered. It can also exert a camouflage function in the realm of electromagnetic radiation as well as manipulate temporal sequences of events, indeed only to a very limited extent, and other things as well. Are you familiar with your quantum tunnel effect? Even amplitude equalizations among genuine matter can be achieved with one of those kinds of fields if the frequency and the distance from the plane of the field are high enough. Unfortunately, the whole thing that I have explained to you in your words has come out to be rather primitive, I'm afraid. But perhaps this simple explanation can be of some use to you in helping you to understand. But then again, maybe not.